What is going on, everybody? It is Nixter28 here, and welcome back to another episode of the Good Schmidt podcast. My name is Nick, and I am here to talk about the Green Bay Packers virtual draft and providing my analysis of each one of their picks. And I'm doing this just because there really hasn't been a lot of sports to talk about, obviously, due to the coronavirus, as many of you know. So I'm going to be talking about the draft today. Let's with the Packers' first round pick, which was Jordan Love, quarterback out of Utah State. The Packers traded a fourth round pick and their first round pick 30, in order to get Jordan Love. He is 6'4", 224 pounds. And then his arm length is 32 and 5/8 inches. His hands are 10 and a half inches. And then for his combine stats, he ran his 40-yard dash in 4.74 seconds with a 35.5-inch vertical jump, a 118-inch broad jump. His 3-cone drill time was 7.21 seconds, and then his 20-yard shuttle was 4.52 seconds. And now some draft analysis from NFL analyst Steve Munchak. He says that Love has good size, a strong arm, above average mobility, and big hands. His touchdown to interception went from 32 to 6 in 2018 to 20 to 17 in 2019. And his overall decision-making skills need to be more consistent. He throws off-platform as well as anyone in this class. He can adjust his release point to avoid pressure and shows excellent touch. And then ESPN analyst Rob Domofsky says he has a strong arm, big hands, mobile, sneaky fast. Overall, he's the right build Green Bay is looking for. And he actually mentioned that the Packers GM, Brian Gutekunst, wanted to get Justin Jefferson, but he was already gone, so he went 22 to the Vikings. So I believe the Packers thought Love was their next best option here. So overall, my analysis on this pick, it's a forward-thinking move. It provides the Packers with quarterback insurance in case Aaron goes down. He is 36 after all. I do like this selection for the future of the team. But not the value they're getting for the pick at all. I don't think they needed to trade up 4 spots in order to get Love. I think they could have got him at pick 30. So not very good value. And it's not a win-now move at all. They didn't go for a wide receiver or a piece to help Rodgers here. They made this pick looking to the future, which is fine. Yeah, overall, it's just a double-edged sword. He could be a potentially good quarterback to back up Rodgers or to replace him in the future. Whereas the alternative could have been they could have got a receiver to complement Adams, since this was such a deep wide receiver class. And yeah, overall, I don't hate this pick. I just find it a bit puzzling. And the fact that they didn't draft a single wide receiver in this draft, I'm just putting that out there right away. No wide receivers. That was pretty puzzling. However, they did sign Devin Funchess, so maybe he can make an impact with the team. But yeah, overall, that is my thoughts on Jordan Love. Let's move on to their second round pick, which is A.J. Dillon, running back out of Boston College. He's 6 feet tall, 247 pounds. And for his combine stats, he ran his 40-yard dash in 4.53 seconds. His arm's length is 31 and 5/8 inches. His hands are 9 and 5/8 inches. His bench press is 23 reps. His vertical jumper is pretty impressive at 41 inches. Broad jump, 131 inches. And then he ran his 3-cone drill time in 7.19 seconds. Rob Domofsky says Dillon is a yards after contact back who might be built for inside zone runs that LaFleur used so often last year. Despite being the heaviest back at the combine, He also posted the highest vertical jump, which is pretty interesting to note. Lance Zierlein says, built like a minibus but possessing enough vision and finesse to avoid being pigeonholed just as a pure power back. He's a good one-cut runner with below-average wiggle but natural power to create yards after contact. Some of A.J. Dillon's strengths, he has above-average athletic traits for a bigger back. He absorbs contact like a big-time linebacker. It's pretty cool. Reads block development and acts decisively. Some of his weaknesses, he may need to lighten up to increase quickness. He's not a natural pass catcher, and there are some concerns about his long-term durability. So my analysis, Dillon will add to the Packers' already solid rushing attack. He will help take some of the load off of Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, and the Packers could potentially have a three-headed monster, which is really awesome. That would be just great. Transitioning to the Packers' third-round selection, which was Joshua Taguara, tight end out of Cincinnati, 6'2", 242 pounds. His arm length is 31 5/8 inches, and he has 9-inch hands. Combine stats: he ran his 40-yard dash in 4.72 seconds, 25 reps on the bench, a vertical jump of 35.5 inches, a 115-inch broad jump, and then 7.15 second 3-cone drill, and a 4.35 second 20-yard shuttle. Lance Zierlein says he's a gritty blocker who plays with good positioning and works hard at sustaining blocks to help the run game. He's a pass catcher, or as a pass catcher, Taguara is sure-handed with good feel for soft spots against the zone. Some of his strengths: finds his block fit and sustains with balance and footwork, counted on to help seal the edge in the run game. He does catch what is thrown at him and rarely has a focus drop. Some of his weaknesses: may not have speed to consistently get separation from man coverage. He's rigid in his body adjustments to throws outside his frame, and he lacks creativity after the catch, tending to bowl forward. I think Joshua will be a nice addition for what the Packers are trying to do. They're trying to be more run heavy. Again, Rodgers may not like this. The fact that they took Jordan Love in the first round, he might not be that happy about it, but he might not be happy about this either. However, he could be a nice addition to the pass game, and also a solid blocker for the Packers. Moving on to the round pick for the Packers, they selected Kamal Martin, inside linebacker from Minnesota. He's 6'3" and 240 pounds, with 34-inch arms and 10 1/8-inch hands, and he did not attend the combine, or at least I couldn't find combine stats. Rob Domowski says he missed 5 games as a college senior due to a suspension and injuries, foot and knee. The knee injury kept him from testing at the combine. Still, he was second on the Gophers with 66 tackles and had 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and a sack, which means he can find the football. Lance Zierlein says that Kamal can gather and wrap as a tackler, but will struggle to finish elusive blocks in the open field, and he's unimpressive as a passing down participant. So some strengths that Martin possesses: he has good upper turn to slip blocks, triggers for adequate closeout bursts to tackle, and accurate target points to finish as a tackler. And weaknesses: he's slow to diagnose and flow, allowing blockers to climb up to him. He lacks feel for blocking schemes and optimal entry point, and he has trouble finding an optimal entry point. He plays under the block, which takes him out of contention of the play. Martin's a very underwhelming pick in my opinion. He already comes in with some injury problems and seems to have a lot more weaknesses than strengths. I think he's just merely going to be a backup, and he's probably not going to see the field, besides maybe on special teams. So the Packers player development staff is going to have to work with him. Another project player, kind of like Jordan Love, in my opinion. So for the Packers' first 6th round pick, they selected Jon Runyan Jr., offensive guard from Michigan. He's 6'4", 306 pounds, 33 1/4 inch arms, 9 1/8 inch hands, 5.08 second 40-yard dash, 24 reps on the bench, 30 and a half inch vertical jump, 107 inch broad jump, 7.57 the second 3-cone drill, and a 4.69 second 20-yard shuttle. So some interesting facts about Jon Runyan Jr. is that his dad, the same name, going by the same name, but Jon Runyan Sr. played right tackle for Michigan in college, so he also played for Michigan like his son, and he was also an NFL Pro Bowler. His dad also served 2 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives in New Jersey, and currently he is a vice president of Policy and Rules Administration for the NFL. So, more about Runyan Jr. Rob Jamowski says he seems best fit for a zone blocking scheme, which the Packers run. And then Lance Zierlein says he's inconsistent in taking control of initial engagements, but stays after it after covers back into the second phase of the block. So some strengths for Jon Runyan Jr. His father was a Pro Bowl tackle, as I mentioned. He's a very smart and observant pre and post snap. His tackle experience is an added bonus for the Packers, as he also has worked in pass protect, in pass protect as a guard, and he's determined to stay connected to blocks once he lands. Some of Jon's weaknesses: he tends to land way too high as a drive blocker, and his high hands diminish his leverage and natural strength. He's below average as a drive blocker. I think it's cool that Jon Sr. played at Michigan, and he was also a Pro Bowl tackle, as I mentioned. This was with the Eagles in 2002. He will be able to give his sons tips playing in the NFL, I believe. I hope Runyan Jr. can be a solid backup for the Packers. And overall, I think this is a really nice pick for the Pack. I believe he'll be able to make an impact in some way. So, the second 6th round pick that the Packers made was selecting Jake Hansen, center out of Oregon. 32 3/4 inch arms and 9 1/4 inch hands. And I couldn't find combine stats for him either. Lance Zierlein says his strong, accurate hands and determined effort are his calling cards, and he's been able to hang in against a series of big talented linemen over the years. Also, some strengths that Hansen has: he was a durable 4-year starter for the Ducks in college. He's a hard worker with a non-stop engine. He plays with poise and confidence against bigger men. Weaknesses: Jake needs help to create movement at the point of attack, and too many ground ball snaps in 2018 and pop flies in 2019. So another offensive line pick for the Packers. Could potentially be another nice backup for them. So good depth piece here for the Pack. And for their 3rd and final 6th round pick, the Packers selected Simon Stepaniak, offensive tackle out of Indiana. He's 6'4", 313 pounds. Some strengths: he keeps pads low out of stance into drive blockers. He has excellent upper body strength. His hands are quiet and efficient, fitting his run blocking scheme. Some weaknesses: he has exaggerated set steps out to the edge, which opens him up to quick counters. Forward lean opens him for quick arm arm over loss. Needs to stay lower for longer on lateral movements. So my analysis here: the Packers take offensive linemen 3 picks in a row, with with 2 being at back-to-back picks in Hansen and Stepaniak at picks 208 and 209. They seem to really be beefing up on the O-line here. Simon seems to be the weakest of the 3, though. We will have to see if he makes the team. He will need to work on sustaining blocks. Packers really have their work cut out here for themselves with Stepaniak. And for their first 7th round selection, the Packers select Vernon Scott, safety from TCU. He's 6'1", 206 pounds. Lance Zierlein says he is a trait-based prospect. His experience covering the slot adds value, but does have man cover limitations. So strengths that Scott has: scouts say he's smart. He's very smart and a hard worker. As a late bloomer to the sport, he's able to drape and swat throws when running in man coverage downfield, and he's played special teams even as a starting caliber player in college. Some of his weaknesses: he needs to keep the ball in front of him so he can play downhill. Instincts in space are very average. Makes too many mistakes with angles and positioning as an open field tackle. So Vernon Scott's a flyer pick here for the Pack. He has good speed, but needs to work on his tackling techniques, I think. He might be a special teams addition, a nice special teams addition, but that remains to be seen. For the Packers' final selection of the virtual draft, they picked Jonathan Garvin, defensive end out of Miami. He's 6'4", 263 pounds. He has 34-inch arms, 9 5/8-inch hands. And he was nicknamed Spider in college for his length and agility. And he was part of that turnover chain defense in Miami. At the U, Lance Zierlein says that Jonathan Garvin is capable of playing 3-4 end or 3-4 rush linebacker. So that's helpful that he's able to play two different schemes. He gains depth upfield quickly and is fairly natural at defeating the punch and flipping the corner. His strengths: closing burst to walk down scrambling quarterbacks, uses length to separate and find tackle opportunities. Some weaknesses: urgency and consistent explosiveness are missing from his rush. Not enough secondary effort when early rush attempt stalls. That he's going to have to work on. And he gets jostled and knocked off balance sometimes. My analysis here on Garvin: he has shown that he has some flashes of physical ability, which definitely was evident if you watched Miami's defense in 2018. It was definitely evident in 2018. He had a good season then. I feel that Garvin's probably going to be a practice squad player, another work in progress project sort of player. The Packers player development staff will have to work with Garvin. Probably won't make the roster, but we'll see. So that is going to wrap up my recap and analysis of the Green Bay Packers 2020 virtual draft. I hope you all enjoyed my analysis, and I really hope there's a football season this year. Hopefully that darn COVID slows down. Anyways, this has been the Good Schmidt podcast. My name is Nick, and I am signing off.